Unboxing and review of the Lekato TM-25 clip-on metrotuner. This is an independent review, so if I don't like what I see, I'll tell you. The metrotuner came in the usual Amazon box, but this time it's got a big sticker on it, something about UN 3091, and a picture of some batteries. But I'm sure that's not for us, it's for the postage system. So let's have a look inside the box and see what's there. As usual, I dive in and start trying to open the box before looking at it properly. And if I'd have spent a bit more time looking at it, I would have realised by opening it from the other end it would have been a lot quicker and a lot easier. Never mind. And as expected, inside the box is the actual metrotuner box. And as with the previous metrotuner I reviewed, it's arrived under a different name. This time it's arrived under the name Musido. However, looking around the box, it actually says on a sticker stuck on the side that it is a Lekato clip-on metronome tuner. So it is the right product, they just sell under different names. Okie dokie, let's take a look at what we've got inside that box. And the metrotuner is in a little plastic bag, so we'll take it out of the plastic bag and take a better look. Straight away, taking it out of the bag, the sort of weight and finish and size of the screen makes it look a little bit extra on your normal clip-on tuner. And around the back you'll notice in the clip there's a little button cell battery. And the battery is a standard CR2032, so they're easy enough to get hold of, but I do recommend you shop round because they can be a bit expensive. Right, let's put the battery in and then we can find out what it does and how well. The battery compartment's got a coin slot in it, but on this particular one it doesn't need it because it moves around quite easily. But putting the battery in, it's quite fidgety because it's so small. And putting the battery compartment lid on is a bit fidgety, especially when working around lights and a camera. There we go. And when you put the battery in, it comes on automatically. Well, the screen's clear enough once you get the plastic film off. And you can see the A4 value for the tuner isn't quite set right. It should be 440 if you're using standard concert pitch. But I'll set that up in a minute when I can clip the tuner to something so I can keep it still so you can see what I'm doing. And speaking of the clip, the tension's quite good without it being too tight. Right, I'll clip it onto the end of the guitar, and I've chosen a Telecaster because it's got a very small headstock and it will test if it'll fit. And it does. And it's adjustable in two different directions so you can get it comfortable so you can see what you need to see. Right, let's turn it on. And you can see there that the tuner's set to an A4 of 444. So it's showing the guitar to be in tune, but it's not. Try again. And you can see how important that is to be set to 440. If you have it set wrong, your guitar will be permanently out of tune. That's not what I intended to do. I was looking for the different tuner modes. Oh, there we go. So we had chromatic, then guitar, then bass, then ukulele, then violin, then back round to chromatic, and back to guitar. If you're tuning an instrument that's not on that list, you can just use the chromatic setting. By holding the same button, the item button, for holding it for about a second or so, you get the metronome. And by hitting the power button for a short period, it starts it. Now the up and down key that we used to adjust the A4 previously are used to adjust the speed of the metronome. Let's see how fast we can get it going. It seems to go around at about 250. Yep. Right, we'll set it back to somewhere around 100 because that's where you find yourself working more commonly when you're first learning the guitar. That'll do. I like the indicator, the little needle going back and forward. By pressing the item button for a short period, you change the number of beats in a bar. So we're at 8 beats, 9 beats, 1 beat in a bar, 2, 3. So 4 beats in a bar would be the equivalent of 4/4 time. And press the power switch for a brief period and it stops it. Right, you can alter the rhythm here. I can think of lots of uses for that function. So back to the tuner. Well, it certainly works fine and it's got lots of functionality. What I'll do now is I'll just tune a guitar and see how it gets on. But I'll have 2 other guitar tuners so I can compare the results. I'm going to use the headstock of a Fender Strat this time because the 70 style one is just huge and I could probably get 20 tuners on it. I'm going to tune the guitar from the bottom E string up. Straight away I could point out that the tuner in the middle behaves a lot differently to the tuners on the outside. But they are generally agreeing with each other. Watching the 3 tuners, I'd say the most responsive of the 3 is the one I'm reviewing, the Lekato TM-25. The tuner in the middle takes quite a lot of movement in pitch before it responds, possibly 1/8 of a tone. So I wouldn't be as happy tuning a guitar with that one as I would with this Lekato. If I'm honest, that test didn't go how I'd hoped it to go because they all seem to be responding in different ways, so it's hard to say what's accurate and what's not, but generally they do agree. As one last test, I'm going to try it with the tuner I use quite often, and that's the Lekato WMT248. Remember, as you're watching this test, the bigger Lekato tuner is plugged into this guitar, so it doesn't get any outside interference. So the response will be different. However, even if the 2 tuners respond differently, we can tell if they're accurate alongside each other. It's very sensitive and very accurate, and because of this it's very easy to miss the sweet spot. However, you know when you've got it that the guitar's bang on. So far they're agreeing pretty well. I think from these tests we can confirm you can trust the TM-25 to tune your guitar. And like all tuners, it's probably beyond human hearing. Before I take it off the guitar, there's one last thing I want to show you that I missed before because I hadn't read the instructions, and that is that you can control the volume on the metronome. So I'll just show you how to do that. So I've gone into metronome and started it, and if you hold that, there you go, it's muted. 1, 2, 3. There you go. It's either mute or the 3 different settings. But I didn't realise it had that when I did the original test of the metronome, so I thought I'd better point that out. And the metronome feature was unique to this particular clip-on tuner. The other 2 didn't have this feature, which is obviously a useful feature to have. Because I use tuners on a number of different instruments, I thought I'd try it on a couple just as proof of concept without going into any detail. And I tried it on a violin in the violin setting and it worked very well. I tried it on a mandolin in the violin setting because they're tuned to the same strings, and that worked very well. I then put it into the chromatic setting and tuned an electric sitar, and that worked, and then I tuned a banjo. So as far as I can tell, it's pretty much a universal tuner. So in summary then, as a tuner it's really good. It's very clear and very accurate. As a metronome, I'd be concerned about the battery life. However, the metronome works really well, and it's quite surprising how much volume such a small thing can produce. The build quality is exactly what you expect from a clip-on tuner. It's quite lightweight, and it has to be because you're going to clip it onto the end of a musical instrument. But the quality of this clip-on tuner was noticeably better than the quality of the other 2 tuners I tried with it. The only negative thing I could think of is the battery door. It's a little bit loose and not very strong, but not seriously, it wouldn't stop me buying one of these. However, if I was looking for a tuner metronome that I wanted to last a long time and I didn't need to have a clip-on one, I'd recommend the Lekato TM-25 because that one's rechargeable, which I think is useful, and it's very robust. But it doesn't have anywhere near the portability of the TM-25, which will fit away into any guitar case or any guitar bag. If you're interested in buying a Lekato TM-25, I'll put an Amazon link down below in the description so you can find it easily. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon, and then you'll be notified when I upload new ones. Also, you'll be notified when I upload new lessons. And if you're interested in guitar lessons, I've got loads of free ones on my channel or on the website www.ebooks4guitar.com, and they're all free to view online. Thank you very much for watching.